Have you ever wondered how movie stars like Zac Efron get absolutely massive for movies when they've only got like a few months? Well, some of them are probably on steroids. Maybe Zac Efron is, maybe he's not. But there's definitely a way that you can gain as much muscle as possible in 30 days. And you're probably not doing it right now. So in this video, we're going to go through what are the most effective, scientifically proven methods to gain as much muscle as possible in 30 days. However, there is a warning here with this, guys. The warning is that although this is going to be probably optimal for getting as much muscle packed on as possible in 30 days, it's not going to be optimal in the long run, okay? What you want there is a steady training program. So you could say it's hypothetical. Maybe you could use a scenario. Maybe you've got a holiday coming up in 30 days. Maybe you just want to train to look good for that. It's up to you. But here are the three things. So number one, how much work do you need to do in the gym? This is otherwise known as volume, okay? The volume is essentially the number of sets and repetitions that you're doing in the gym. Now, simply put, more volume equals more muscle growth, okay? Loads of studies have shown that there's pretty much a linear curve. The more volume you do, the more muscle you'll grow. Now you may be thinking, well, surely I can just do loads in the gym and I'll just keep gaining muscle, okay? Surely it just works like that. George, you've just said it works like that. But it's not quite as simple as that. You see, the rate at which you're gaining muscle will keep going up as your volume increases. However, there comes to a point where that will start to plateau, okay? And the reason that is because our ability to recover from exercise isn't endless, okay? So that's why people who are taking steroids and people who have got really optimal recovery, professional athletes who are getting their recovery completely optimized, that's why they can handle more work, because they can recover and their recovery matches the amount of work that they're doing. But for the average person, if you're doing 300, 400 sets of exercises per week, you're obviously not going to be able to recover in time to build that new muscle. So how can you use this to your advantage, this whole idea of volume in those 30 days? Well, the answer is smash the volume, okay? Get as much volume as you possibly can recover from in those 30 days. You'll know if you're not recovering because you'll be feeling way too sore after a week or two. You'll start to get really bad joint pain, your sleep will be affected. You might start showing symptoms of overtraining, okay? So that's when you know that you're doing too much volume. But other than that, if you can find a place that's just below that overtraining mark, then that will get you to where you want to be in 30 days. For example, on your current training program, you might be doing 6 sets of squats, or your body might be able to handle 20 sets of squats a week, okay? So really think about bumping that up if you want to gain more volume. Now, this subject of volume leads me nicely into the next one, frequency. Now, frequency is how often do I need to train? Okay, so how often do you need to train? You see stars like Zac Efron, other movie stars, perhaps they're training, 2 or 3 times a day. Professional athletes are training multiple times in a day sometimes. And you're probably thinking, well, why? Or, why can't I train multiple times a day and get the same results? The reason that they're training multiple times a day is because their volume of work is really high. So they have lots of work that they need to get through in a week. Now, it's a lot easier to get through that work if you chunk it up into several different workouts per day, rather than doing like a 5-hour workout each day. They're going to split it up into maybe 2 hours, and then 1 in the evening or something like that. So that's how you can use frequency to your advantage. If you're getting in a lot of volume, if you're doing loads of sets in a week, then you might find it beneficial to split that up into multiple sessions throughout the day, maybe 2 sessions throughout the day if needed. So there's actually nothing special about training multiple times a day, guys. It's all about just how you fit that volume into your week, and it's completely up to you. There's actually no optimal amount of times that you can train your muscle within a week in terms of how many sessions of chest you do per week, but the range kind of falls between training your muscle group once per week and about 5 or 6 times per week. Any more than 5 or 6 and you're probably wasting your time and you're not going hard enough and you're not building up that momentum in your workout, and 1 is probably a bit too less. You'd probably want to be training the muscle group at least twice per week for optimal results. So the third strategy we have is intensity, okay? Are you going hard enough in the gym, or how hard should you go in the gym to gain as much muscle as possible in 30 days? Well, most of the research currently points towards you going somewhere just before failure, okay? So we've all been in the gym, we've been lifting weights, let's say we're on a chest press, and we've gone to absolute failure where we can't possibly get that weight up anymore and we have to drop the weights. Well, the research says we're probably better off in the long term going for about 2 repetitions before we reach that failure point. If you go to failure every set that you do, you're probably going to accumulate so much fatigue that you'll get into that overtraining phase really quickly and you won't be able to recover as quick. So to give yourself the best chance, you want to be stopping about 2 reps shy of failure for each set that you do. So to summarize, in terms of volume, you want to be getting as much volume as your body can recover from, okay? So you're going to have to play around with this a little bit. It's going to be different depending on the different person, but as long as you're eating okay, you're sleeping okay, and you're feeling okay, and you're not feeling ill or down or anything like that, you can carry on pushing that volume. And that's probably a whole lot more volume than you're doing at the moment. Also, remember to go to the gym twice a day if that helps you get that volume goal. So don't think I have to go to the gym twice a day to do a full workout each time. If you're finding that all that volume is taking up loads of time in the gym, split it into 2 workouts in the day instead. And finally, make sure that you're pushing yourself with enough weight. If you're simply not pushing yourself and you're not choosing heavy enough weights, you're not going just short of failure, then you won't get the results and you won't build the muscle. Now, of course, training is only part of the equation, it's not the whole story. In the next episode, I'll cover more the nutritional side of things and how to build as much muscle as possible in 30 days by combining that training program with your diet. So stay tuned for that.